sentence, Mohammed? What is the sentence?
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Okay, so she hears information from outside. He said he was going to finish the project on time. And Muhammad, Pachu, what does she believe him? Does she believe that he can finish the project on time?
No,
Mm,
Go ahead, Pachu.
mm, maybe or may not be, but she's expecting.
Well,
Yeah.
she maybe she hopes, but she's not sure.
Yes.
She doesn't believe him. She doesn't really believe him. Kind of means she doesn't believe him. Let's think of it like that. Maybe that would be a good way of thinking about it. Pachu, how will you say the first three words of that sentence?
She was skeptical.
Okay. What do you think is the big word in that? And if you think about those first three words, which word would you say is the big word?
Skeptical.
Skeptical. Where's the big sound in that word?
Uh, Kep.
Skep.
Kep.
Skep.
Kep. Yeah.
Skep. Okay. So she was, that will sound very small. She was skeptical. Can you say it like
She
that?
was she was skeptical.
Okay. Muhammad, can you say that those first three words? She was skeptical.
she was skeptical.
How do you think you would add the next two words, Muhammad?
Skeptical about his
About is. Is that a big sound or a little sound?
small.
Small. So we have small, big, small. We have she was skeptical about his. Can you
About his.
can you say the whole phrase? She was skeptical about his.
She was skeptical about his
About it. She was. Can you say tickle?
tickle
Tickle about.
tickle about
Tickle about his.
tickle about his
Skeptical about his.
skeptical about his.
She was skeptical about his.
She was skeptical about this
What is the next word, Muhammad?
promise.
Does that have a big sound?
Promise, yes.
Promise. So prom, that's big, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can you add that word to our phrase? She was skeptical about his promise.
She was skeptical about his promise.
Pachu, can you say that phrase? She was skeptical about his promise.
She was skeptical about his promise.
Okay. How will you add the next two words, Pachu?
Uh, to finish.
How does that word to usually sound in the middle of a phrase like that?
Is a to
To,
finish.
to finish, to finish, to finish.
To finish.
Which is the big sound in that phrase? To finish.
To finish. Finish. Pin.
Fin. Okay. All right. So you see how we're building our big, small, big, small, big, small, with all the important words being having a big part. So
Yes.
she was skeptical to finish his prom. She was skeptical. She was skeptical about his promise to finish.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish.
And how would you add the word "the" to that phrase?
To finish
Finish
the.
the. Finish the. She was skeptical about his promise to finish the.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the.
Okay. Can you say that, Muhammad? She was skeptical about his promise to finish the.
She was She was skeptical about his promise to finish the
Okay, what is the next phrase? What is the next word in that phrase, Mohammed?
project.
Okay. Project. Project. Is that a are there any big sounds in that word?
Project.
Which sound is
Pro.
pra? Pra is big, so we'll make that big here. Okay. So we have she was skeptical about his promise to finish the project.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project.
Okay. Can you say that, Pachu?
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project.
Okay. What is the final word in our phrase, Pachu?
It's on time, on
Okay.
time.
Now, when you have a phrase like that, which word do you normally give the emphasis to?
It is second on.
Well, on time. You know what? It is on time. On time. It is though. Usually it's the first word, but actually here it's the second word. So that works pretty well with us anyway. So we'll
Yeah.
emphasize the word time, but it should be anyway.
Yes,
All right.
time.
So now we have a wonderful big small big small big small pattern. She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
That's good. Mohammed, can you say the whole sentence?
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Skeptical, promise, finish, project on time. She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time. Try to emphasize those big syllables.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Okay. Mohammed, how many phrases do you think we have in this sentence? How will you divide this sentence into phrases?
Two,
Two? Okay, what are the two phrases?
promise and to finish.
Okay, so you want to separate it here? All right.
Yes,
And what do you think? Would you like to sound friendly and nice when you say this phrase, or would you like to sound serious or educational when you say this phrase?
serious.
Okay. Now, in the first phrase, she was skeptical about his promise. What would you say is the most important word?
Promise.
Okay. All right. So should we say that high? Should we say promise? Or should we say promise? Which one?
Promise.
Low? Okay.
Yes.
So we'll make that blue. We'll make that blue. And how should we start our phrase? Should we start it with a high tone or a low tone?
High tone.
Okay. So she was skeptical about his promise.
She was skeptical about his promise.
Mhm. She was skeptical about his promise. Pachu, can you say that?
She was skeptical about his promise.
Okay. Now, in the second phrase, Pachu, what do you think should be the most important word?
So project
Project?
and then finish and then finish.
Okay. She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time. I don't think that's neutral because if you emphasize, if you make project the most important word in this phrase, that means not the emails, not the presentation, but the project. So
Yes.
I don't think that's neutral. I think probably the more important word would be time. Do you
Okay.
understand why? Do you understand the difference?
Yes. Yes, because the project is always finished on time.
It seems like on time is an adverb in this sense. So uh, usually the adverb or the adjective will be the thing that you want to stress, but also it seems that most of the time the most important, not always, but most of the time the most important word will be very close to the end of the phrase.
Yes, yes.
Now, do you want to sound serious or do you want to sound friendly and nice as you say this?
Yeah, the serious
Serious? Okay, so how should you say it? Should you say on on time or on time?
on time.
Okay. So we'll make that blue. How should we start the phrase? Should we say finish or finish?
Is a high tone. Is
High.
a
Okay.
finish.
So we'll start high and then we'll just move down to the low as we say the word.
Yeah.
So to to finish the project on time.
To finish the project on time.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Mohammed, can you say the entire sentence?
She was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Mohammed, can you make a how she feel? This is going to be a question in the past, okay? How she feel about his promise? How would you make a question in the past with how she feel about his promise?
How she felt about his promise.
Okay, well, you have to use the question form if you're making a question. What is the question form of she felt?
Um, how did she feel
That's right.
about his promise?
That's right. Say it again. Make that question again.
How did she feel about his promise?
What is the most important word in your question?
How, how,
How? How?
yes,
Can you say that?
how,
How?
how,
How will you put the word so that should be longer because it's very important. How? How?
how,
And then how will you add did she? How does that sound?
how did she feel about his promise?
Yeah, so we have how, that's big. Did she feel? How did she feel? So we've got big, small, big. How did she feel?
How did she feel?
How did she feel about his promise?
How did she feel about his promise?
That was really good. Pachu, can you make that question? How would you say that?
Yes, but I have to say one thing, sir.
Okay.
So in sentence, his promise or her promise is talking about her or another person.
I don't understand your question. Can you repeat that, please?
No, in this sentence there is his promise.
Uh huh.
It should be her promise or is his promise.
Well, imagine she is the boss and John is her employee, and she says,
Okay,
John, can you finish the project on time? Oh, yes. Okay. And she thinks, I don't believe him. So she was
okay,
skeptical about John's promise. She was skeptical. Does that make sense?
okay. I got it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How would you make that question? How did she feel?
How did she feel?
Don't forget to whistle when you say the word she. How did she?
How did she
That was good.
she
That was good.
how did she
That was
feel
that last one was
about his
sorry. But the last one was really good. Go ahead. I won't interrupt.
okay? How did she uh, keep? How did she skeptical?
How did she feel?
about
How did she feel
okay. How did she feel
about?
about his promise
Mhm.
to finish the project on time?
That's right. What is the answer, Pachu?
S- Uh, she was skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time,
What does that mean that she was skeptical?
as she's she has hope that the project will finish, but not sure.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean that she has hope, really. It's just that she doesn't believe him.
Okay.
She has doubts. Maybe she
Yeah.
hopes. She probably hopes so. If she's asking about it, she probably hopes so. Mohammed, how did she feel about his promise to finish the project on time?
She felt skeptical about his promise to finish the project on time.
Mm-hmm. What is the? Can you read the next sentence, Mohammed? What is the next sentence?
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Okay. Do you remember that we talked about that word spell? We've actually talked about it in several books or in several different chapters. I don't remember where or when. But do you remember what that
A
means here?
spell amount of my time
It is. It is. Have you seen that before?
with you, yes.
With me, yes, but not anywhere else. It's
No, no, not anywhere else.
yeah, but it's something that you could use. I don't know how common it is. I guess it's pretty common. I don't know if I've ever used it, but it wouldn't sound weird if somebody said it to me. It just means a period of time. Okay. So we have he can you say the first four words, just the first four words of that sentence? How would you say them?
He worked as a
O- uh,
as a
Okay. Now, the first thing, that word worked, that's a pretty hard word for people to say because there are many consonants coming up against each other, many hard consonants coming up against each other. Kt, kt. He worked, worked. Can you say that word
he
for?
worked
Uh huh. Go ahead.
worked.
For some reason, I would think somebody who speaks Arabic would not have a problem with that because Arabic doesn't really like vowel sounds too much, right? They like to put a lot of consonants together. So maybe is it? Do you find that easy to say? Worked.
Yes,
Yeah,
work.
that's
Work.
worked. But you've got to say that t at the end. There's this very strong t at the end.
Work.
Worked. T, t. That's how
Work.
that's how we know it's in the past because of that really ugly sound at the end. T. It's like spitting. Worked.
Work.
Okay, but here you have help because the word as starts with a vowel sound. So as a will sound like this. Teza, teza, teza.
Work. Teza.
Yeah, teza. Can you say teza?
Teza.
Use a ta in the front. T, teza,
Teza.
teza, teza,
Teza. Teza. Teza.
teza. This time you do have to say z,
Teza.
z. This is a z.
The.
This is an S. Can you say sa, like an S?
Sa.
Sa. But now instead of this, so sa, that's where you push the air out. But if you say za, you're pushing the air down your throat instead. So it's the same sound, but instead of the air going out, it goes down. Can you say za?
Za.
Yeah, that's right. Za. Can you say taza?
Teza.
Mm-hmm. Worked as a.
Worked as a.
He worked as a.
He worked as a.
Okay. And do you hear any big sounds? Any big vowel sounds in there? Any long vowel sounds?
Work.
Worked. Okay. So were. We'll put were here. We'll make that big. All right. So we have small, big, small. He worked as a.
He worked as a
Okay. Pachu, can you say that phrase? He worked as a.
He worked as a he worked as a
He worked as a.
he worked as a
Okay. How would you, Pachu, how would you say the next three words?
exam farmer for farmer for a
Okay. Farmer for a. Farmer for a. What is the big sound in that phrase? Farmer for a.
as a far.
Far. Far. Okay. All right. So we're building our big small rhythm. We have he worked as a farmer for a.
He worked as a farmer for a
Okay. All right. Muhammad, can you say that? He worked as a farmer for a.
he worked at a farmer for he worked as a farmer for
He worked as a farmer for a. What is the next word?
a spell.
Okay. All right. Do you think that's a? Do you think that would sound big or small in our phrase?
Spell, spell. I see it as a small.
Okay. It is. It is. It is. Eh. It's a small sound, but is it a big word or is it an important word in our idea?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll make it big just because it's an
Okay.
important word. All right. So normally you're right. I mean, really, if you just say the word spell, that's a small sound. But because it's an important word, we'll make it big. He worked as a farmer for a spell.
He worked as a farmer for a spell.
That's good. Okay, that's the rhythm because we want that rhythm, the big, small rhythm, and we want to emphasize the words that are important in our idea. Pachu, can you say that phrase? He worked as a farmer for a spell.
He worked as a farmer for a spell
Okay. Now, Pachu, can you say the next four words?
before moving to the city.
Okay, just the next four words.
Before moving to the
Okay. In that phrase, before moving to the, what do you think is the big word in that phrase?
as a moving
Okay. And which syllable has the big sound in moving?
is a move
Okay.
move move move
Move, 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 move. When you say that sound, you give a kiss. Move. See my lips? I'm giving a kiss. Move.
move move
Yeah.
move.
Moving.
Yes.
Okay, so that's right. That's an important word, but also it helps us to keep our big, small pattern. He worked for a farmer as a, he worked as a he worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the
Okay, Muhammad, can you say that?
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Okay, and that word city, is that an important word?
Yes.
Okay, and it's got two syllables. Which syllable has the big sound in it?
First one, city.
Si, si,
Ci-
si.
City.
City. City.
City.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we have he worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Okay. Muhammad, how many phrases do you think we could divide this sentence into?
Spell and before. Two.
Spell and before too? Okay. If we look at the first phrase, he worked as a farmer for a spell, what do you think could be the most important word in that phrase?
spell,
Yeah. And now, do you want to sound friendly and nice when you say this phrase, or serious or educational?
friendly.
Okay. So, because now, when you end a phrase, you should probably end it with a low sound, a low tone. But if you want to sound nicer, you have to give it a little bit of a high tone. So, the way that we'll have to say this word is we'll start high and then we'll go low. So, we'll say spell.
Spell,
You have I think you have trouble doing the high part. Spell,
spell,
spell, spell.
spell,
You hear the high and the
spell,
spell. Okay.
spell,
How should the phrase start? Should it start high or low?
high.
Yeah, because most phrases do start high and then they move down. Okay. So we can say, he worked as a farmer for a spell.
He worked as a farmer for a spell.
Okay. Pachu, can you say that phrase?
He worked as a farmer for a spell.
Okay. He worked as a farmer for a spell.
He worked as a farmer for a
Oh, for some reason you got cut off on the last word. That's the word I was listening for. And you disappeared. Are you there?
okay.
Try again.
Yes. He worked as a farmer for a spell.
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 Yeah, so it's kind of the opposite because I know that your temptation is to say spell, but you have to do the opposite and say spell.
Spell.
He worked as a farmer
Spell.
for a spell.
He worked as a farmer for a spell.
Okay, that was good. That was really nice. Now, in the next phrase, Pachu, before moving to the city, what is the most important sound? What is the most important word in that phrase?
Is a city and moving.
Okay, well, I think let's make city our most important
Yeah.
word. Okay. Do you
Yes.
want to, when you say this, do you want to sound nice and friendly, or do you want to sound more serious and businesslike?
And the friendly.
Okay. So we have a situation because we have to end we want to say it in a high tone to sound friendly, but we have to make it kind of low because it's the end of the phrase. So we'll have to divide this word into two tones, high and low. City,
Yes.
city, city,
City. City.
city, city,
City. City.
city.
City.
Okay.
City
And how should you start the phrase?
is a high tone.
Okay. Before moving to the city.
Before moving to the city, city,
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
he worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Mohammed,
City.
can you say before moving to the city? Are you there, Mohammed?
Yes.
Okay. Can you try that? Can you try to say that the last phrase before moving to the city?
Before moving to the city.
Okay. Before moving to the city.
Before moving to the city.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Okay. Mohammed, can you make a where he work before moving to the city question? How would you make that question?
Where where did you work before moving to the city.
Okay, and what is your most important word in that question?
Where?
Where? Okay. So how does that sound? If that's a very important word, how does it sound in your question?
Long, I
Okay.
say
Where?
where he worked
Okay. What is the question?
before
What is the question form of he worked?
where did he work?
Okay. How does where and did and he, how do they sound together? Where is very important. Did he is not really that important, so it's very small.
Yes. Did he?
Where did he? Where did he?
Where did he work?
Okay, then work, but that's an important word, right? Work.
Yes.
Okay. Where did he work?
Where did he work?
Where did he work
Before
before?
mo
Go ahead.
Where did he work for moving to the city?
Okay. Where did he work before moving to the city? Try again.
Where did you work for moving to the city?
Okay. Pachu, can you make the question? Where did he work?
Where did he work? Where did he work?
Do the whole question.
Okay. So, where did he work before moving to the city?
Okay. Where did he work before moving to the city? And what is the answer?
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
He worked as a farmer for a spell before moving to the city.
Muhammad, where did he work before moving to the city?
He worked as, he worked as a farmer for a spell for moving to the city.
Okay. All right. Let's do one more word tonight. Okay. I guess this is a short.
Okay. Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Pachu, can you read the sentence that I have written up on the screen? Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Okay. So, the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Now, first of all, do you know that word simultaneously?
Yes, at the same time.
At the same time. Two things happen at the same time. Okay. And we've seen the word startle many, many times in many, many different books. What does it mean?
Yes, I came across many times, but I could not remember
You always forget?
this.
Okay. That means like
Yes,
that means like surprising him.
surprising. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, got it.
Does that make sense? So the alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously, startling him, surprising him, kind of scared a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Pachu, how would you say? Let's see. One, two, three. Wait. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. I want you to say the first five words. So that's up to the word the. Don't say the word phone. I just want you to say the first five words. How will you say them together?
The alarm clock and the phone
Okay, don't say phone though.
and
Just stop at the. Say it again.
the alarm clock and the
Okay, how does the word and the, how do they usually sound together in the middle of a phrase?
and the
And the
and the
and the and the and the and the
and the
and the. All right. Can you say that again? The alarm clock and the.
the alarm clock and the
Do the words alarm and clock go together all the time?
yes,
If two words go together all the time, which word gets more emphasis? The first one or the second one?
alarm.
The first one, alarm. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the big sound in the word alarm?
Alarm, lam,
I
lam,
think it's alarm. Yeah, it's alarm.
lam.
Okay. So
Yes,
if so, let's make that big. Let's make alarm really big.
lam.
And the way that you
Yes,
read it is the alarm clock in the alarm clock in the
the alarm clock in the alarm clock in
make that big. The alarm clock in
the alarm clock in the alarm clock in
the alarm clock in
the alarm clock the alarm clock in
Mohammed, can you read that? The alarm clock in
The alarm clock and the
Okay. Now what do you think about that next word, Mohammed? Should that be a big word or a little word? How will you add the word phone to that phrase?
phone. Big
Big. Okay. So that's phone, phone, phone,
phone.
phone. The alarm clock in the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone.
All right. Can you say that, Pachu? The alarm clock in the phone.
the alarm clock in the phone
Okay, phone or phone.
is a phone.
It's a big sound. It's a big word. It's an important word in our sentence. And we want to have our big, small, big, small, big, small rhythm. The alarm clock in the phone.
The alarm clock in the phone
What are the next two words, Pachu?
is rang simultaneously.
Okay, rang simultaneously. And what do you think would be the important word here? Which word should we pick as our important word?
Is simultaneously.
Simultaneously. Okay, so this is, let's see, how many syllables are in that word?
Simultaneously. Four, four or five.
Six.
Simul,
Let's see. Sai,
simul,
mo, te,
yeah.
ni,
Mul, ten,
us, li.
ni,
That's six.
us. Yes, six.
Six. Wow.
Simultaneously.
All right.
Yes.
Well, so definitely this word will have more than one accented syllable, okay, because it's such a big word. But which one do you think sounds the biggest? Simultaneously.
The 10. 10
Te,
parties higher. Yeah.
te, te. I agree with you. I think it's te. Let's see. We'll put that
Yeah.
up here. We'll make that big. All right. Can you say ring simultaneously?
Rang simultaneously.
Okay.
Simultaneously.
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 The alarm clock and the phone rang
Simultaneous.
simultaneously.
The alarm clock, the phone rang simultaneously.
The alarm clock and
The alarm clock in the
the alarm clock and
phone rang.
the alarm clock and the phone.
The alarm clock in the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously.
The alarm clock in the phone rang simultaneously.
Oh,
Simultaneously.
so you're saying simultaneously, but is it simultaneously or simultaneously? Which one is better?
Simultaneously. Simultaneous.
Say te,
Simultaneously.
say te, te,
Te is
multe,
te.
multe,
Is a multi. Is
simultae,
multi. Simultaneous.
simultaneous. So no, so simultaneous,
Simultaneous.
simultaneous. Make the te big though. Simultaneous,
Simultaneous.
simul,
Simultaneous.
simultaneous, simultaneous,
Simultaneous. Simultaneous.
simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously. Make the tay big.
Simultaneously.
The alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously.
The alarm clock, the clock and the phone rang simultaneously.
Mohammed, can you say that? The alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously,
Okay. What are the last two words, Mohammed?
startling him.
What do you think is the big sound in that phrase? Startling him.
Startling. The first syllable.
The first,
Startling.
that's right, the first syllable, startling him. And him, that could just become part of the word startling. Startling him. Startling him.
St- Startling him.
Startling him. Startling him.
Startling him.
Can you say simultaneously startling him?
Simultaneously startling him.
Phone ring simultaneously startling him.
Phone rang simultaneously startling him.
And the phone rang simultaneously startling him.
And the phone rang simultaneously startling him.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously startling him.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously startling him.
Okay. Pachu, can you say that?
The alarm clock, the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay, that was really good, but for some reason that was a really good simultaneously. But for some reason, I never hear you say and the. I hear you say the alarm clock, the phone, but I want to hear you say and the alarm clock and the phone.
Okay. The alarm clock and the phone
Hmm.
rang simultaneously,
Hmm.
startling him.
Startling him. Can you say gim?
Startling
Can you say gim?
him.
Can you say startling him?
Startling him.
That's how it sounds. Startling him.
Startling him.
Simultaneously startling him.
Simultaneously startling him.
Not startling him, but startling him. It's one word. Startling him.
Startling him.
Hmm.
Startling him.
Ring simultaneously startling him.
Rang simultaneously, startling him.
Phone ring simultaneously startling him.
Phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Clock and the phone ring simultaneously startling him.
Clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay, but be careful. Simultaneously startling him.
Simultaneously, startling him.
The alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously startling him.
The alarm clock, the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay, but you didn't say the word and. I just heard the alarm clock, the phone. I didn't hear the word and.
The alarm clock and the
But can
phone
you
rang
make
simultaneously.
can you just say and the alarm clock and the phone?
The alarm clock
Mm.
and the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously startling him.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay. Pachu, how many phrases do you think we could divide this sentence into?
And the phone rang. So we divide the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously. Is it two?
Okay, so like this, like the alarm clock and the phone rang and then simultaneously separately, like that.
No, simultaneously we can take.
So just one phrase, the alarm clock and the phone ring simultaneously, like that.
Yes, simultaneously. Yes.
So
and
that's one big phrase then? Is that how you want to do it?
so divide this
Where should I divide it?
rang.
Okay, so the alarm clock and the phone and then rang simultaneously like that?
Yes.
Okay. And then so
Yeah, that
go ahead.
yes. Yes. The alarm clock and the phone is first, and the rang simultaneously is second, and then the third is startling him.
Okay. All right. So in the first phrase, the alarm clock and the phone, uh where should we put most of the emphasis?
It's the phone.
Okay. And how do you want this to sound? Friendly and happy or serious?
The friendly.
Friendly? Okay. So phone is the end of our phrase, and we want to give it a high tone to make it sound friendly, but we do have to make it go down because it's the end of the phrase. So we'll try to go from high to low in the same word. Phone,
Yes.
phone,
It's a phone. Phone.
phone, phone. You hear the two tones?
Phone.
Yeah, that's good.
Phone.
That was good.
Phone.
Phone. Just think how you would like to say it in
Phone.
your own language and do the opposite because you want to say phone, but don't do the opposite.
Yes.
Phone,
Yes. It's, it's a phone. It's a
phone.
phone.
Hmm. Okay. How should we start the phrase?
It's a high tone.
Hi.
It's a L.
Okay. So the alarm clock and the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone.
Phone,
Phone. Phone.
phone. The alarm clock and the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone. It's phone.
Phone.
It's a phone.
Hmm.
Phone.
The alarm clock and the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone.
Okay, that was good. Mohammed, can you say that? The alarm clock and the phone.
The alarm clock and the phone.
Okay. Now, Muhammad, in the next phrase, rang simultaneously, what do you suppose is the most important word in that phrase?
Simultaneously.
Okay, simultaneously. That first syllable is pronounced sigh. A-E, sigh, simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
Can you say sa?
Sa,
Can you say e?
e,
Sai,
sai,
simultaneously.
simultaneous, simultaneously.
Okay, simultaneously. Okay. Now, do you want this phrase to sound happy or serious?
Heavy.
Happy? Okay. So, does a happy word sound high or low? High or low?
High.
High. Okay. So we'll give this a high tone, but this is the end of our phrase, so we want to finish in a low way. So the way that we should pronounce this is simultaneously, taneously,
Simultaneously.
taneously,
Simultaneously.
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 Not si, but sigh, sigh, two sounds.
Simultaneously.
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 Okay. How should we start our phrase? Should it be high or low?
High.
High, because most phrases will start high. So, rang simultaneously.
Ran simultaneously.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously.
The alarm clock and the phone ran simultaneously.
Pachu, can you say rang simultaneously?
Rang simultaneously.
Simultaneously. Go from high to low. Rang simultaneously.
Rang simultaneously.
Okay, that was
Taneously.
pretty high, so I could hear that really high that time. Taneously.
Taneously.
Rang simultaneously.
Taneously. Rang simultaneously.
The alarm clock in the phone rang simultaneously.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously.
All right. Now, Pachu, the final phrase, startling him. What is the most important word in that phrase?
Startling.
Okay.
Startling.
All right. And how should this sound, do you think? Would you like this to sound serious or friendly and nice?
As a friendly.
Friendly? Okay. So how should that big syllable star sound? Should it sound like star or star? Which one?
As a high tone.
Okay, so how does that sound? Tell me how it sounds.
Star.
Star,
Star.
star, star. Okay. But we want to finish because it's the end of a phrase, we want to finish low. So how would you say
Yeah.
tling him?
Startling him.
Start
Startling him.
startling him. Startling him.
S- Startling him.
But start high.
Startling him.
Startling him. Startling him.
Startling him.
Okay.
Startling him.
The alarm clock in the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
The alarm clock in the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Mohammed, can you say the whole phrase?
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay. Simultaneously or simultaneously? Which one is better?
Sim- Simultaneously.
Try to say it again.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Mhm. The alarm clock or the alarm clock? Which one is better?
The
The. Can you say the phrase again?
the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
The alarm clock or the alarm clock?
The
Well, what letter, what sound does alarm start with?
uh,
Uh,
alarm.
uh,
Mm.
right? What happens to the word the if the next word starts with a vowel sound? Like
The alarm.
uh
The alarm.
when the is in front of a word that starts with a vowel sound, it becomes
Okay.
the alarm clock. The alarm clock.
The alarm. The alarm clock.
Hmm.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay, good. That was good. All right. Pachu, can you make a how he react question in the past? So if we have he reacted, that's our sentence. He reacted. How would you make a how he react question? Like how he react when alarm clock and phone. It's a very complicated question. Can you make it?
So, so how did she react when
She?
the
Wait. She or he?
he
He.
did he
Okay. I
yeah
thought
did he
say she.
okay sorry. So how did he how did he react
Hmm.
when the alarm clock and the phone rang?
Okay, that was good. Now, in that question, how did he react? What is the most important word?
How
How? So how does that sound when you say it? If it's important, how should it sound?
It's a how.
How.
It's a how.
And
How.
what about did and he? How do those sound?
It's a small.
Okay, so how will those three words sound together? Tell me all those three words together.
So how did he?
How
So how did he?
how did he? How did he?
How did he? How did he?
How did
How
he?
how did
Mhm. How did he react when the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously?
how did he react when the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously?
Okay, Mohammed, can you make that question? How he react?
How did he react when the alarm clock and the phone ran simultaneously?
Okay, can you make the question again? But then remember that when you say the word the, it should not be za, but the. Can you try that again?
Uh, how did he react when the alarm clock and the phone ran simultaneously?
Okay, how did he react? And then now remember, how is big because it's a very important thing. It's your question word, and then did he becomes did he? How did he? How did he? How did he? How did he react?
How did he react
Mm-hmm.
when the alarm and the clock when the alarm clock and the phone ran simultaneously?
Okay. And what is the answer? If I say, Muhammad, how did he react when the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously? How would you answer that question?
Uh, it startled him.
Okay, it startled him. That's right. Uh, Pachu, can you make that question one more time? How did he react?
Um, how did he react when the alarm clock and the phone rang
Sim-
simultaneously?
simultaneously. Hmm.
Simultaneously.
Okay. How did he react when the alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously? What is the answer?
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Oh, is it simultaneously or simultaneously? Yeah,
Simultaneously.
like that. Say it
Simultaneously.
again.
The alarm clock and the phone rang simultaneously, startling him.
Okay, that was good. All right. Well, I think that we'll finish here for today. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Tomorrow, I don't think I'll be making any videos. So we'll start again on Friday. I'll try to schedule those videos in advance so you know far in advance when I'm going to do it. Okay. But I don't think I'll be making any videos tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, okay,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for participating. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next time. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.